Hello, this is a review of the film A Clockwork Orange. A Clockwork Orange came out in 1971, and it is based on a novel by Anthony Burgess, and it's directed by Stanley Kubrick, and it stars Malcolm McDowell as Alex. Now, this movie is set in the future. They don't specify how far in the future, but as most 70s and 80s science fiction films portray, the future is pretty bleak. And Alex is apparently a guy of high school age, and he has a gang. And at night he tells his parents that he's working, but what he's actually doing is he's going out with his gang and he's committing what they call ultra-violence. And to them, ultra-violence is like beating the hell out of people, raping women, fighting with other gangs, etc. This movie is in English, but Alex and his droogs, as he calls them, they use some words that apparently they've made up because you kind of know what they're talking about, but they don't really seem to be normal English words, and I really can't explain it. You'll have to actually watch it for yourself. But you pretty much know what they're saying. They do have some unconventional terms for some things. For example, fucking they call the old in and out, which I guess is pretty self-explanatory. What Alex does, as I mentioned, is he goes around his gang and he just commits these violent acts. And then at night he comes home to his mom and dad, and apparently he skips out on a lot of school. He tells them he's sick and so forth. And he apparently has like not a probation officer, but a truant officer or whatever you want to call him that's supposed to be looking after him. But apparently the guy's not doing a very good job. Well, one day his gang turns on him and they smack him in the head with a milk bottle, and he's picked up by the local authorities. And one woman that he assaulted dies, so he's charged with murder and he's put in prison. And while in prison, he's a model prisoner, and he hears about he hears about a new experimental program where if you go through this program, they supposedly cure you of your violent tendencies, and then they actually release you from prison. So he goes through this program. Now, I'm not going to tell you any more because this would probably ruin the movie for you. I don't want to give you too many spoilers. I have to say that this movie is rated R. It does contain scenes of violence. It contains nudity. And it's not appropriate for children. So just so you have that as a warning. When this movie came out, it received several Film Critics Awards. And it was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. I think it's a pretty cool movie. It's pretty interesting how they try to reform this guy. I don't know if this is based on any actual technique that's been tried, but it is a rather unique approach, I find. I find the acting to be pretty good. There's not really any special effects or anything like that. It's just pretty much acting and sets and this kind of thing. And I believe it was filmed in England where it is supposed to be set. If you like science fiction films that are a little bit off or a little bit different, you don't mind a little bit of violence in your movie, you might want to check this out. I do recommend it. It is a very interesting movie. And it's available from Netflix, and it's also available on DVD and probably on Blu-ray also. So if you have any comments or questions about this film or about this review, feel free to ask them, and I'll do what I can to answer them. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and thanks for watching this review.